Sangye cheta soge chanala chancho bhajo dhani gyamsu chi dhani shinye kyebe sonamki dhara penche sangye Sangye cheta soge chanala chancho bhajo dhani gyamsu chi dhani shinye kyebe sonamki dhara penche sangye Sangye cheta soge chanala chancho bhajo dhani gyamsu chi Dani Chandrakirti give us Sonamki, Dona Venture Sunday to Daddy cancer. You did them, but I think it was a cheese. That did it. That run Lula says to go. Get them the little shout to me to this. Get them a Lula no only sharp and maybe to look nature. To the long my jewel at Travel Zumbani Uma by David Tumbata to me, Jibe. No only shy. Dedala Trapata. That is you met Anandi, you met Anandi, Chitin Pala Travel, Jumba. To the Loma Juala Travel Jumba, me, Uma Pay to the Jumbata to me, chicks. To the Loma Jue. Travel Zimbati Karisha, Metati, to Delo Majua to Sugi Hakubi, Sumay, but you might king the Hakuma. Zimbani, Uma paid to the Zimbata, the Michis. Uma paid to the Zimbati Karis, Timbana and Timbamatu, Shaura. The Zimbato Vala, Temito, Montu. That's
Getting it under the loyalty.
Le Shaja, the Trapata Inji says to her.
The Oma Tangibil.
Mali Rangivica. Ranula did some key. Le Shadow, Umarangivica.
Ranglula, or Ranglula did some relations.
Get them said to do it.
Ranglula. Are you looking at Tibetan text? Okay, it's on 209. Okay, and English text. Ranglula. Ranglula means in our tradition, something like that. Okay, let's see. Also,
Umarangivica.
Yes, Umarangivica. Incident says to the tone about it should be on page number 97. Okay. In the subtopic on system. Okay, I think this is the 97, second paragraph at the end. Okay. In subtopic on system, it is not merely the status which is asserted as the meaning of being positive by an awareness. This means so the when the now here talking about the magician and the illusion. Look at the example. So the magician, so when magician sees that the image of horse and the horse and elephant, so then the magician understands that is not true, okay, not true, and it is not unreal. So that magician has that kind of awareness, that kind of understanding. But in this system, when we when we talk about the, so this is merely not merely status. Okay, anyway, so in this in this system, when you talk about the wrong view or the wrong appearances, it's not talking about that kind of understanding. I mean, like understanding, the understanding the wrong nature of this perception is not talking about that kind of wrong. Yeah. So they here talking about something not knowing that things are not merely projection. Okay, this is the difference. In this system, I mean, like in this system, so not knowing means not knowing that all the things are merely projected. Not merely, sorry, mentally projected. There's no mere, sorry, mentally projected.
That it. Dedana Sata Lola Nave on Shaba maybe Dulu Nejans. Tarangibelula Lola Nave on Shaba maybe Dulu Yamaris. Chukandini Lola Nave on Shaba Shaguri.
So then the line goes on and saying the dust. So even though there is no mode of subsistence not possessed by the force of appearance to the awareness. As I said, there's nothing that actually exists, not being projected by the mind.
That you only said the only you only shabe to loom to tapatam memberchi, mean to tapatam memberchi, yes. You only shabe, only shabe to loom, mean to tapatam memberchi, yes. That the reason. Thank you, baby. You only shabe to look. Any. Mean to tap at some members, mean to tell them, mean to tell them to do the young, mean to tell them my image to do is. Can you be mean to tell them to do it? Mean to tell them, mean to mash up, Shuyama. Mean to tell them my image to you. That's the day, Mobugambulo, mean to tell them my image. You be money to raise it. Mingi mata be ni mingi mata be ta dilu mingi mata be meja mingi mata be dilu ya mares ini ya di ongi to be ongi ni shabe dilu mingi ta fa tam
So now more clarification. It says in this system, this is not contradictory, for there is no there to be a mode of subsistence posited by the force of that, but which is not merely nominally imputed. Okay, so this means in this system it said that all the things are imputed, but they said they are not merely imputed, because they can actually posit, but they can actually assert there is things that is not just merely imputed.
I got it said. Only thing you will learn. Me without some church killing. And you will learn. Mingi mata pe church yamariti. Mingi tata main pe church killing. Out to Suta. Shape the Tanjelo. Mingi tata main pe church. 이게 따뜻한 말이스. 이게 무슨 어떻게지? 따뜻이 땡큐베게디 케블 렘버 란주게디 민게 따뜻한 디켈링게.
So that's why the Prasangika, so like Prasangika Madhyamika, they said there's no such a thing, not being merely labeled, right? Merely labeled. But in this tradition, they can say that there is a thing that is not actually merely labeled, because there's something from the objective side.
Umabani Gajala, Lungur, Mendova, Kaba Chimbo use Umaran Jubata, thank you, Beniguti. Any Karasuri Gajala, Gajala, Long Chajutila, the Mendova Mabuyaris, Mendova Kaba Chimbo Yaris.
So
Gajala, that Kaba Chimbo Yaris.
And this 97 again continues. He said that hence the objects of negation in the two middle way schools comes differ greatly for the mind. That means that there's a big difference between how they identify object to be negated in these two systems in two middle way schools.
Tikarasana Rangibella Rangan to Bati Gajari. Thank you, the Gajari Kelly. Just a feeling
So for instance, one big difference is like the Prasangika Madhyamika, he said that all the Rangwanituva, also the Satan, no, I mean the Prasangika Madhyamika, they said they have like a difference in identifying object to be negated. Okay. In the Prasangika, they said Rangunituba. Rangunituba means truly, what's it? The Rangunituba. The Rangunituba truly exists in nature. Established from its own side. Okay, established from its own side. Rangunituba. So they said, the Prasangika, they said that is object to be negated. But in the other school said that doesn't become the object to be negated.
That is it. Tadarki Kansala, Luti, Dembata, Dinzi, Unjita, Tigo, Rifato, Lepachines, Luti, Umar, Gibe, Luki, Demba said it, Demba, Dinzi said it. Dinzi singing the series. Let it go very well in this series. Lebarchine, that you ought to, and think you
So then text goes on. He says, having seen that contemporary persons who have been briefly instructed well in the substantive identification of true existence and their estimation of the concept of the true existence, as well as their reasoning refuting those, discerns the Prasangika's view well when afterwards that system is taught, have explained in. Anyway, so here we have been explaining how the Satantika the asserts their assertion and their view, and how they identify the object to be negated, and the refutation on how they refute that object to be negated. We have their very brief comments the presentation here. The purpose of that presentation is to understand better the view, understand the view of the understand better the view of the Prasangika Madhyamika.
The old to think you will dinner. Tavani le parchibaju. Rangi betavati apache. The apache sonani rangi betavati, nothing you betavati litigina, and tavati apukuris, mix chibajus, mix chibanashi, yunguris.
So then, anyway. So it said that if you lead if you explain Prasangika Madhyamika view based on understanding or someone who has understand or apprehend the view of the Sautrantika Madhyamika. So it says that kind of being or that kind of person who has that kind of understanding, it's very easy to show the view of Prasangika Madhyamika.
Tadi di inje di tanda kazantin machine rangi veli ki ka dinji ta dinju ta dinji ta ani lo she shebre tadi o tinma umatingi be di shebre ngachati.
So then up to here we have been talking about according to the Sautrantika Madhyamika's view and how they identify object to be negated, how they refute them, and how in terms in according to their view, if the things exist, how it should be exist, and this kind of thing. So now I'm just asking, what is object negation according to the Sautrantika Madhyamika?
Yeah.
Object that exists independent totally from mental imputation.
Totally from mental imputation? You say mental imputation, right?
Yeah.
You want to say mental imputation?
Or mental projection.
Mental projection, okay. Loi pa ta zam di ani ga cha re sha sa. Loi pa sha zam ji ro. Ni ga cha re sha sa. So according to your Sautrantika Madhyamika, you're talking right?
어디 텐주벨 어디 따와디 랭주벨가 저래서가
So now,
텐주벨 르 딱장디 켈링 버봐
so that means
르 딱장디 랭주벨 가저래서가
so that means the what do you call this thing? Prasangika Madhyamika ultimate view becomes the object of becomes the object of negation of Sautrantika Madhyamika.
이 가저 친주지리 그랬다. 그랑이 너무 샤점 캐내는 버봐. 이 파트 가저를 받아.
Actually, it is a part of their object of negation. It's partial.
아, 다들 랭귀벨로 같이 가르쳐 그래서는 로라 마드베 로라 마드바 이 중에 두가지 다 가져래.
So the Sautrantika Madhyamika object of negated is some the independently exists from the objective side, not depending on awareness or mind that perceives them.
다 랭귀벨로 가지셨네. 로네멜라 나온 그 샤바 많이 봐. 이런 게 틈을 많이 봐. 들으기만 들어와서 샤바. 랭귀벨로라 로네멜라 나온 그 샤바 많이 봐. 이런 게 틈을 많이 봐. 이런 게 틈을 많이 봐. 들으기만 들어와서 딱 가져리 그래. 가와디 틈을 많이 봐. 들으기만 들어와서 가져라 봐.
So in the Prasangika, the Sautrantika Madhyamika, in Tibetan it says that lo ngi mashapa. Lo ngi mashapa means knowledge. Lo ngi mashapa means lo ngi means from the perspective. Lo means mind, right? Lo ngi mashapa means not perceived by the mind, sort of like that. Mashapa, lo ngi mashapa, not perceived by the mind, something like that. Mashapa. Yurangi means you means object, right? Dulugi means tumu mind. Dulugi duba means only or special, you can use the on, but could be like anything, right? Only or uniquely, something like that, it exists from the objective side. So that will be the object of negation. So then the another word you can say something exists not apprehended by the mind. So then in the Prasangika Madhyamika, right, their object of negation will be like something that exists from the objective side. It's pure, there's nothing, there's not talking about how the perception side, there's nothing about it. Anything is coming from the objective side. Any thing, so that becomes object of negating. But in the Sattantika Madhyamika, he said they accept something exists, something is from the objective side. It's not like just mental projection. There's something from the objective side. That's what they said. Something exists from the objective side. Only from the objective side. That will be the object of negating.
Tadi long shatam data thank you better long tobe pata jam sigirba tobe pata jam de rangible gache chiri.
So then
the pata jam di khel lingi amar you mene to which gore is.
So the in the Madhyamika, the Prasangika Madhyamika, it says all the things are merely labeled, right? Merely perception, something like that, merely labeled. But that is actually, that can be an object of negation for the Sattantika Madhyamika.
That is Tatine changeable Luki, changing Musuanis, starting Nivatirva. Look de la Chunam Tobe only Shaba Zamki, Joju Shina, Tangible Lula, Chutam Chunam Tobe only Shazam, Joju di Shesuna, Dele Dobati. Dinji dele do dinji de tela do gre si ju le shangtam mai be yeba le shangtam di chue nam to be on di shangtam di ju ju di shena ni dele do di le on di shangtam mai be yeba di 아니 덴지 데라도 진베 덴지 데라도 그래시 그러니 다디
공투를 쓰고
그래서 딩가제인 타고 두고
So now on page number 97 we move to one of the outline. It says identification of the conception of true existence in Prasangika Madhyamika school. With respect to this, if you understand how in this system phenomena are assigned by merely positive through the force of conceptuality, right? Just merely label. Another word is missing, merely label, right? So then you will easily understand the conception of true existence of that conceives the opposite of this, yes. So if you understand that all the things are merely label or merely label, then you will understand the opposite. The opposite of that would be the object to be negated.
다 르옹기 샤장이 세들이 다디 랑규벨루르이나 르옹기 샤주디 시에서나 르옹기 마샤베 유바디 가자리스 제비바 델라 르옹기 샤장디 시에서나 샤장다 잠드디 르옹기 샤장디 시에서나 딜레 도바디 르옹기 샤장 많이 버디 가자 가자디
So, okay, so now again it says one, for clarification, now main differences you can see here. In the Saptantika Madhyamika, basically is saying if something is not imputed by the mind, right? Imputed by mind, that will be object to be negated. Okay? And the Prasangika Madhyamika is saying if something is just merely not imputed by mind, that will be object of negation.
다 오마랑 랑기 벨루라 롱기 셰기 베텔라 데모기 주마켄버티 아니 주메 다디 죽주디 벨레 샤소마 베디 데네 샤소마 주마켄버티기 주메 다디 로추베 온기 샤바티 그 로추베 온기 샤바티 주마 캔디기 하고 그래 디나시다티 베디티 마 베고네 로셔기 라주베루라 베고네 아니 로셔기 베고네 샤소마 기메 베고네 다 기메 베디 고네 샤니 다 주마 캔부티기 규메다디 로트베 온기 샤바리 사고아리 디나시 네 디가르스 그래 네 로셔주디 디나시레 슬라바라 돈이도베 가사디기 아니 최디 르 온기 셔주디 le ongi xiaoju dati dunyi tobe kansa digi dunyi to chabe kansa digi ani chue di ne karesu kare yiji karesu le ongi ma shebe yubati gajela dirba 제 르옹기 셔주디 디 돈이도 백간사디기 돈이도 생각 간사디기 아니 수수디 조용디 로라나 르옹기 샤점 또 바이 로라나 옹기 샤 이지 로라 나의 온기 샤바 마인베 여바티 킹네 르 온기 샤주디 셰바라 어디 제사 베고네 시에서디 이게 오마랑 유별로 르 온기 샤주디 베고네 시에서마 베디 가리샤스나
주마켄샤
주마켄기네
주마켄기 딜로
메달라 나와디 로트베 온기 샤점이 하고서 또 대신다도 수하마고래 가리수 그래 미말레베 미레베 때문에 되게 로 온기 샤점 로트베 온기 샤점 하고 마소나 그래서 그 유크란 게 때문에 다나지 예버지 수나 그래서 로 온기 샤점 시에야 말이죠 다디 랑기벨로르 온기 셔주디 균에 베이드니 시에버가 이는 유마킨 되기 그래서 그래 균에 따라디 로추병에 나와 좀 시아버디 기베제네 다른 시에서 다들이 뒤들이와
So then back to the example, the illusion, the magician and the illusion, and the Satrantika Madhyamika school. So they use that as an example how to illustrate how things are appears to us in a mistaken way, something like that, right? So then they also talked about the perception and the mode of the existing is two different things, right? Because the magician, as a magician, so when he sees that image, so that is how they appears to the magician, and also the magician knows that that is not the real, because so then this is not the real, because the reality or the is not that is not the real thing, right? So then he understood, the magician understood that that is just not just that is also the appearances is just mental imputation, right? But as an audience, when they see that the illusory objects, so they didn't know that there is they didn't know this is just this is actually mental imputation, mental projection, and they think that is that elephant and all these things are true. They didn't know what is the reality nature of the thing. So we have been using that kind of analysis in terms of how things are, how things they appears to us, and and also for some other beings.
다디 주무 많이 배두를 주문에 매버디 시버디 두다 이런 샤바도
And for instance,
라이브를라 아니 근데 돈이 또 저기 제대로 지낸 것수 아니 분선난 거 봐. 분선나 인도 정말 주무 많이 배두를 주문에 매버디 하고
so then the magician, according to the magician can tell that appearance, whatever appears to them, the animal, the illusory animals, these are not just from the objective side, right? So that appears to them and appears to the magician. So the magician can tell there is something actually mind projects that illusory animals, not just from the objective side. You can understand that. And similar like that, all the things and phenomena are vast and also on. They are not only from the objective side. There are some mind that actually projects on them as well.
다디네 딜랭이스 최남 도배 운기 조지 팅기벨루라 최남 도배 운기 조지당 델레도 딘진바디 딘지템바고 또 팅기벨루기 최남다 도배 운기 샤바 마이바 스그르바 도배 운기 조지 시티지제 델레도 딘진바스네 도배 운기 샤자 마이바 짐베 딘지 짐베 로틸다 딘지 시게르바 디템바우스 다디 sabject 링이도 팅기벨루기 최나 도배 운기 조지 지제 델레도 딘진베 딘지체 팅기벨루기 딘지스 단주디 랑기벨루기 딘지다 팅기벨루기 딘지기 카가레스마 어다드네 다 팅기벨루기 딘지데 차와이바 단위 시에그리죠
최나 도배 왕기 족줄 같이 비비로 and 델레도 딘진베 딘지가 템올스 through the first conceptual. Okay. So now the text goes on. Therefore, the presentation again, which I read from the beginning, is with respect to the, and the opposite of that will be, so something that truly exists, right? So then it said, therefore, the presentation of the identification of the conceptual true existence in the Prasangika school has two parts: how phenomena are posited through the force of conceptuality. The second one is the conception of true existence that conceives the opposite of this. These are the two branch.
다디 다디 텐주벨로기 롱기 셔주디 돌레 숨거리 냐와르시 냐와쿠기 시베 돌레스 나도 이가 메도 카지신 세리게 간조 바와 이용와 데나데라 제바 가야 가메데 데다 도베 옹기 샤바인 도베 옹기 지데 남다디 시 최탐제 도베 옹기 샤바르 숭디스 최탐제 도베 옹기 샤정다 도베 옹기 샤바리 숭바 샤네야 망무스 다디 mambayar tante dodi nyawar kuji shibe dodi sumbati dati mimbe chue tamde dobe ongi shazam yin suya tita dobe ongi shaba sumbe da shindara yari je mambu yari je.
So then in the question of the Upali Sutra says the phenomena are posited through the force of conceptuality, just mere level. So then here, I think the quotes goes on there. Here the various mind-pleasing, blossoming flowers and attractive, shining, supreme golden house have no inherent exist, make it all. They are posited through the power of conceptuality. Through the power of the conceptuality, the world is imputed. So then it goes on that there are also many other statements that all phenomena are merely imputed by the conceptuality, or that they are posited through the force of conceptuality. Okay. There are many other sources in sutra as well.
다디 딘디 가르사 나도 이거 메도 같이 실제로 배나 사이내나 메도 mambayaro 왔다면다 아니 세기 셰칸라 소가 딘디 림부치 셰칸 mambayaro 두수디 도배용기 샤바리미 슈지기 아니 두수 순예지 야마리지 소바치 지기야지 수련이 좀 샤바기 말이 도배용기
So then in this statement, mainly saying that here is the various mind-pleasing, blossoming flowers and attractive, shining, supreme golden house, and so on, right? So there in divine realm, they have many different flowers, beautiful flowers, and also they have the house or mansion. They actually made out of golden, very precious kind of jewels and stuff like that. So he said that all of these are just mentally imputed. They're just merely imputed. He said, so they are just merely imputed because no one actually built that. No one actually made that. This is just our mental. We were imputed from our mind.
서시 여러분 자식이 서시 아니 천김에 도시 가르쳐 여러분 매 여러분 여 자녀들 집에 어디 자식이 서시 아니 매투 간지를 바대로 여러분 두수 자식 서시 수이제 매조대다 간리 중스제 그 자식이 녀기 자식이 서시디 제법부터 똑바로 미셔지기 디네 소녀지 야마리 자식 서시 지기디 야시 소녀 신다지 야마리 이다 집에 다도
And also similar, you can apply to hell realms. So if you go to the hell realms, so you will hell realms, hot hell realm and cold hell realms, right? And the hot hell realm, it describes like there's a metal ground, basically with like a metal ground that's been like cooked, sort of like in fire. They get like a very red kind of metal, right? Metal becomes metal red, heat, like fire, and it actually vibrates fire from that for like a human kind of height, sort of like that, and then the beings been cooked in that fire and so on, right? So these are not, no one actually went down there and built such a thing. So there's, so no one actually put that kind of effort to make that hell realm or anything. No one did that. But all of these are just mentally imputed. So there's, who is the actual maker of this? Who made this? Who built this? All of our conceptual mind actually built that.
No, that's river to Chubale. Jigden Mari Genji to Kanchir Job Sange Sons. The Chen Jidenti Namdo Yishi Jimmy Terrace. Jidenti Namdo Shabari Serti Tevari, just Namdo Tobe on Shazam in Tevari is that did it.
Certain. Then furthermore, Nagarjuna's 60th stanza of reasoning says the perfect Buddha said that the world has the condition of ignorance, therefore how could it not be feasible? Right? Feasible? What's feasible mean? Possible. Oh, I see. That this world is imputed by the conceptual. Again, is making same statement saying everything is actually mentally imputed.
That is.
Yes.
What that is. The devale. Jidenam Rangi Mu Matuba. Tope Tabatum Sheji Jabale Jan. Toba never Dechala Sola Yumina Yanda Tenda Tobashi, Lotan Sushi, Shesu, Shi, Devayan, Toba Yuba, Kuni Yubata, Toba Meba Yuba, Meba Dedani, Gormachaba, Taba Toba La, Tabe, Juda, Rangu Matuba, Nesus, that did it.
So then, Mr. Red, the meaning of this statement is explained in Chandrakirti's commentary as being that the world, this world, that is being and environments are imputed by the conceptuality, not established by the way of their own entity. Also, Aryadeva 400 says, and then the sense, desire, and so forth do not exist without conceptuality. Who with intelligent will hold that these are real objects then and are also conceptual. And also Chandrakirti commentary on Aryadeva 400 says, those that exist only when conceptually exist and do not exist when conceptually do not exist are undoubtedly certain as and established by the way of their own entity, like a snake imputed to a coiled rope. A snake imputed to a coiled rope. Yes.
That is Yanda Dunerangu Toba Shesundi Yanda Betu says to a Yanda Dune. Toba Shabala Suba, Yanda said it. Yanda Dun the Toba Shesiduga. Yanda Betun said the Yanda Betun Rangu Tubalche. Toba said the Tele Gable. Yan Rangu Tuba rangitu rangitu nawala teni nikke shabaji toba sigi jasa toba la yurangu ne tuba chinangi yarba irba yurangu yang taba siyati yurangu ne tuba che yang ta top sidi yurangu ne tuba nawala teni ni toba te namdo tikeba esi toba ni tela tikeba di debar chaso nam tabala tutu tabatar sumbani chamba samti chue shen tamje kyang tabala tutu tabatar debe na tobe shabar shaba us tatila tan di juish tobe shau jude tada jundige le teni shabar ta taba tuidu nimbe toba chiyarba di kende sikke bari esena tela travel doda kiru tuidan jashi yibe sewa nawana taba la di tuilu nyambe lo kiwus di che taba la tabe chobadan chashi 주의기 진실 조주 중세기 매배 디니 디 주인이 또배다 좀 스타디리 더 타바타타 지제 타바타타디 샤두 잠바디 샤두디 주의 지 그거까지 녀대기 봐 타바타타지 치루스는 주의다스디 주의대 도스 그렇게지 녀대기 해봐 디나신지 예배체 아니 멤버 중세 나쁘러지 배 나쁘면 아니 진짜지래야 아니 안티 다들 중지로 지키게 돼 다들 대도 주지 도스 제 다나 침부게 봐이 어디지 타나지 깨버리지 중지로 지켜버리지 이내야 아니 디 땡도 탑에 초바당 탑에 있는다 디 탑에 초바당 자세 가양 주주 니야 매버가 매내야 중지로 지켜버린다 디나 시다는 최등자랑은 그걸 로지야 돼 아니 디나 시제 개버리지 최탐제 나인도는 랑은 두지는 이야기 이내야 추기 초바당 최디 랑은에 두가 짓는 게 할때 다자 제가 지는 최디 소배된도 빼나 풍부된도 나랑은에 두가 지나 랑은 두는 게 다디 랑은 두는 나인도 전부 다 풍부도 파자이나 풍부 초바디에 나말이 풍부 차셔 뒤에 나 중색견이야 말봐 풍부 초배 때도 나이 중에 풍부 차셔 때도 나이 중에 이 매번 했었다 나 민두가 디나 신제 단지 타달을 주든지 뭐 뒤에나 아니 타발을 주든지 뭐 뒤에나 아니 타발 소배 때도 주의야 말이 차시기 때도 주의야 말이 이내야 된지 주든지 mello 지게 버봐 어디 타달 준지 글로디 타발을 주도 글로디 개번한 시진은 만나도록 유랑을 두번나야 되지 지게 버리지 답변은
Then page number 98, same page. Real object. This is a real object. Real object. The real object refers to that statement actually made in the quotation of 400 stanza. If you look at the stanza up there, so the last stanza it says, These are the real objects, right? This is talking of real object. This refers to that real object. Their real objects are established by the way of their own entity. So that means like a real object means truly exist. In other words, it means like truly exist. Okay? Conceptual. Now here we have another word, so conceptual. So conceptual means produced in the dependent upon that conceptually. So then the truth, the real object refers to truly exist. When it appears to as a truly exists to us, then we kind of like the what you call adhere as true object. So this is actually talking about this the last line. Okay, how they actually need to expand. So then to that statement in the commentary that desire and so forth all the way down to I think we'll save the time. Okay, so it's imputed conceptual all the way down there, right? So okay, now the meaning of this. So that means like so this is actually talking about how you impute snake on the coil, on rope, and there's the environment is like very dim light. There's no much light. So then because of this, all this environment causes conditions. So then you will project or you see the coil as a snake. Okay, this is talking about that kind of thing, snake. Okay, now we have that kind of appearance of snake in that environment. It describes in this thing. Okay. So then when we look at that coil, so then we see the coil rope, right? We see a snake because we got confused with snake because this is very similar to snake, very close to snake, something like because of the light we don't see it, we are not able to see them. But we see a snake, right? So let's now find out the snake. Where is that snake actually? Where is the snake? So this snake is not actually part of the rope whole as a whole, and it's not a part of any particles. There's no such a thing called snake up there at all. It's totally purely just merely our mental imputations, right? So similar like that. So when we look at when we use as I, right? I, when we impute I, so then we see there's I. We impute I based on 5 aggregates, right? So then the I is not the collection of the 5 aggregates and not the one or the other. If you break down this individually, but none of them is the I. But at the same time, I is not the total form of the 5 aggregates. Okay, so this is just merely imputed. We just imputed from our mind, merely imputed. That's why it says merely imputed.
Tatine, tati, tade dengi, juidi, tope tatam ayi. Tatanji di tada di chau ju chau na shingi ta tabatada ji. Tabatada di du si kilu di dedan di ju dedan na shingi de ji. Tatini mimba ju se ma naburu ji se ma se le yundu. Tatini mi ji yundu jamba de ju ji du si le ba. Junji lo ji le. 그 가도디에 줄차고를 지야리 타바타듯이 아니 그 되다디 주네 신지 대여봐 샤여봐 다디 멤버 중세 대판 멤버 세부에는 그 타바이 하고 그러봐 당 타바다 주 이어지마 투약이 주주지 멤버 중세 법이지 인제 있네 그지라 아니 그 타다 중지글로 지켜버려봐 이 주의디 또배 파다 점리스 그래서는 타박이 소배된 두야 주디니야야 말이야 타박이 차셔기 된 두야 주중사장이야야 말이야 이메로 인사티 주의디 또배 파다 점리 봐시게 더디는 시 최탐제랑은에 두번난 물어봐. 답변에 최탐제랑은에 두번난 비에. 그나 풍루 초벌었지. 풍루 초벌이 간사르비지네. 풍루 초바제. 풍부지 나부지 초유. 이네 디 가사우스 집은 도지를 또 붙이지. 가사기 덕시다 도지기 똑바니제 되네 도지기 똑바다 덕신이 체발을 때네 되네 가사디 주버려 가사 주야 되지 되게 주어예산에 따디 디 따디 가사디 제가 치는 따디 가사디 피기 풍부 때문에 여겨지는 게 아니는 줄라 따 가사디 풍부 때문에 제가 친구이나 풍부 초바 뒤에 가상이 하네 풍부 차시에 두서 가상이 하네 풍부 초바 뒤 가상만 인생이라 네 풍부 차시에리 수기 풍부 소야 풍부 뒤시기 풍부 두서 레베스 가사 레베스 세닝이 같이 이해하자는 다 가사디 풍부라 또베 따점치래 가사디 또베 따점 됐다 가사디 난기야르바 나와리 나와나 시제 가사디 파자가 치니 지행이야메 단지 뒤디 타테 텐도 뒤 나와리 나와나 시제 파자가 뒤 뒤 중세장이야메 탑에 초배 된도 주인이야메 탑에 차셔리 된도 주인이야메 따져서 타다 주인 버디 또배 파다 좀 돼서나 디나 시체 탐제 또배 파다 좀 돼이제 그래서네 또발지 그네 추주지 능기야리지 파제가 지는 니아잔 매치 따디 또배 파다 좀 돼서 따단데 랑규벨로는 최디 그네 추 나와 두번나시 파제가 진 피기 때문에 니주 치리야 유지되네 또배 파에 다스야 따텐규벨로는 유지 때문에 잔니야네 또배 파다 좀 돼이제 어다 디단데 빼디 간지 랑기벨로라 레옹기 샤비야 빼디 기메다디 샤스나 딜라 타다디 샤스나
So now look at the coil rope and projecting that as a snake. So it happens because in a dark room there's dim light, sort of like dim light, and there's a rope, colored kind of rope, coil, very similar manner as like when the snake sleep, right? So and then so because of the light, so if there's a bright light, so then that person will not see a snake. They can tell this is a rope, right? It's a bright light. Because of the dim light, they're confused and then they think there's a snake. Okay, this is the analogy, right? Now, when that person sees the snake on that rope, right? The person, there's a rope. Okay, there's a person who's projecting, looking at that rope, and there's a projection, right? In between, sort of like a projection. When that person sees that snake on that rope, that person cannot make any distinction between his perception and the actual thing, which is rope. His perception is a snake, right? And the rope. He actually kind of mixed these two things. He thinks that is a snake. There's no any sense or feeling of like they being separate. The rope is something else and projecting something snake on that rope. That person, at that moment, that person thinks that is the snake, nothing other than snake. There's no other thoughts or sense about that object. Snake, totally believes that is snake. Okay. Similar like that. So now this is similar like that. So now when we look at the self, I, right? I. Now we have a mind, and this first we have a basis. There's the 5 aggregates, right? Aggregates, and there's a mind that projects I on that basis of 5 aggregates, right? When we project I on that 5 bases of aggregate, same thing, it happens here, same thing. We do not make any distinction between like the basis and how they appear to us. We think that is whatever has the basis is the self. We think that this is the self. That's why we get confused. So then when you look look at the Saptantika Madhyamika, the Saptantika Madhyamika, they said there is something you can find from the objective side, right? Objective side. But in this tradition, the Prasangika Madhyamika, they said there's nothing from the objective side. So now you look at the I, that is not from there. It's nothing. This is just mental projection. Okay, and the coiled snake, that snake, it's nothing from there. But we got confused. We mixed with the basis. So we think that is real snake or that is real I.
That thing you will lula, chukandechine, you get thing near nature. You get thing to Batanime. Tobe Patazami. Tadi Hindale Jevin. There is the Gansadi, Shari, Gansadi, Karesene, Gansadi Telshiti come to Yari, come to Dani, come to Dubichers, Gibu come to Dubichers, Gibu Sami Chumi, Mimi, Lumi, Namshimis, Nangamis. Gibu come to Dubare, Gibu come to Dubare, Sakam, Chukam, Mekam, Lunkam, and then Namshiki come, and then Nange comes. Gansadi Naranju Ina come to Dubare. Sai come Yari, Sai comes at the Naranju. Shadan to Suriba to Sai comes. Sakam Chukam said it Yarvat Jin la Subatala Subatu Chugam Nantu Sagam Chugam Mekam in a drug chayari. Drug chatigat Mekam Nantu, Metamariti. Ani Sagam Chugam Mekam Lung comes. Ani Anandu Lung Yari Lung. Karine su thing to lung chapter lung comes. And Nange comes at it. And I'm the Lug to Dong Church here. Dong Chat to su mena to Yammer. Dong Chat to su Nange comes here. And the number ship comes, Semira, number ship comes. Come to develop in the Shabari is the Kibu come to the Kibuti come to develop in the Shabari. Does she come to Kitani, Kibutan Sutuya Maris? Come Kibu Sepa, come to develop Kibu Stapatam. 아니 기부디 감두 된도 제가 진행해야 하는 거지. 유기빈은 단주 얘가 이말 사감디 간사리베 말이 중금디 말이 눈금디 말이 내감디 말이 남게 감디 말이 남시 감디 가사 말이 다 비게 더시 된도 파자가 진행 짜닝이야. 네, 기부 얘는 다 여버디 가래서 또 왜 받아 좀 그래. 다 제세수만. 다 제산 디베데 됐던데. 타데 타바 타데 딩이 주의들이. 타바 터유 딩이 주의들이. 녀야잖아. 타데 땡기 주의들로 샤바zam들아 로 출발은 낭점지래 아니 타베 땡도 주의 딘데 치자가 진단이야 메리 어찌 유명이 부터 때지 가가르바 타베틴 주자니 야마리스 진짜 야마르바 따뜻해 디다 디베다 따취 탐제 유중연의 두가 자니 야마리스 나인도 유중연의 두가 나와리스 유중연의 두가 자니 야마리스 또벤 따뜻한데 미셔지 유중연의 두가 자니 야마리스 이 여가 있는 유중 파자가 진미 주요 띵누가 아스 따뜻한데 가사를 샤수 가사를 째야 되는 신축 탐제를 뒤리거든 키우리 제대.
So then, in general, in the Madhyamika, the Prasangika Madhyamika is called saying that all things are merely label, merely projection, and so on, right? Saying that. So then, when we look at so let's look at more detail on self, I. So it said in the scripture, it said the person is a collection of 6 elements, right? So let's break down six. What are the 6 elements? It says earth element, water element, fire, wind, space, and consciousness. These are the 6 elements that actually makes a person or being. Right? So, so then when we look at self, we look at self or I.
오늘은 지치와래 세시두가 지절로데 제부사미 주미 네미 농미 난가미 남시 마인 꾸이메스 남시 마인 시절에네 말이죠. 초거디의 말이죠. 꾸이메스도 감주 디버디의 말이 감주버레레 기부 말이 꾸이메스도 감주 디버디의 기부 말이스 딜레 심베 기부가 아니 딜레 심베야 감주부 딜레 심베 감 기부지야 말이스 딜레 된 심베 딜레 된 심베 지 기부지 샤바이는 감주 파샤 기부 딜레 스테야지 예 말이 감주 초발할 때니 샤워를 봐 감주불에 된 심베 기부야 말이 감주불에 기부 말이 감주 뒤점 뒤에 기부 말이 있어요.
So,
다디디 단데디 감주세 디부가
actually, this is on page number 98, in the middle. You see the quotation from Nagarjuna's Precious Garden. They have like a number 80 on the side. It says, all being is not earth, water, fire, wind, nor space, not consciousness, and not all of them. What being is there other than this, right? So that means the being is not the earth, not the water, not the single out, just not all of them, and the being is not also the collection of that, and also the being is not other than all of this. Yeah, there's something like other than this. So then let's go back to that. So then we look all this being on this. So then so we said all things are merely imputed. We said imputed. When all these, for instance here, particularly talking about the I, right? So when the 5 or 6 elements, when they come together, meet together, so then we label, we call it as a person, or we call it as I. We call it, when all these things comes together, join together, becomes like a one man. So then we call it as a person, right? So this is just merely label. We just put name on it. We just put label on it. Similar like a coiled rope. There's nothing from there. So we just thought, we just think that is a real snake out there, snake. So similar like that. So then we project ourself or I based on this collection of all these six elements.
Tarangi bagi the Namshig into Kibuti Namshig into use here.
So then, according to Satrantika Madhyamika, they said a person is
Nijiaris Namshiti Krasa Yansiba Limbecher Yansiba Limbecher Nani Yansiba Limbecher Tagus Nabashivani Tagus Chibri Togbasi Yansi Ligneti Nabashavati Lingi to Bas Nabashivati Tari is Tati Tani Nivache Rangi Ramani Kasaramane troops, Tenia Yaris. Thank you, Belula, Kasaramane to Mari, Tenia Maris. The Tiga Kanda, Kibosamichu, Namshi, Maiku, Mena, Setatus, Sesuna. That thank you, but I read you Vanilla. Nichiki, Kansatin, Tenia Yaris. You do many Yaris. Chiki, you do many Yamaris. Casa 10 years, you really 10 years, you, the Yamaris, that's just the sheet and the shisiger, Casa the shisiger. Should it at the shisiger? Teeth and unity near the teeth and near Buyarva, but it never inside that.
So according to the Satrantika Madhyamika, they said person is can be found on mind, so mental consciousness. So they said the consciousness is the I, because there's a consciousness of the I, because so then it is consciousness is the person, or the consciousness is the I, because they take rebirth in the future. Also they circle back to the cycle of existence, return back to the cycle of existence, something like that. So that's why it said I, the consciousness is the I, something whose I actually falls, going around, wandering around in some sort of existence. So that's why it said the I is the consciousness, is the I. Now here in this tradition it says there's no I, there's no so this I is just merely label, okay, merely label. So then if according to this school, the Prasangya Madhyamika school, so they think if something is true or real, so it needs to be found on the basis. Okay. So now here for the persons we used 5 or 6 elements. So the person cannot be found on these 5 elements as an individual or all together or as a mass, or it's not other than them. So then you cannot find I anywhere. So that's why it says all of these are just merely label or mental imputation.
Thank you very Kansati Shagia. Umaranki the Kansasi means somebody she must she need Jenny Shasuma. Namshiti, Kansati Tiri, Namshiti Shasuma, Jenny Shagra. Thank you very Juti, Jitin the Tanya to me. Jitin Mandro citizen by Mandro Shepherd. Min digi chimne kon juguri mesho jigi dronyeti sure drosa tu kavare je tagje jeni dronyeti kansa di karire dos je tagje jeni jeni jigi yamare jidam bagi man dro shira tagana si man dro shira lo tagana ni chimne ani ko Chawadili, and Chawadili Jew, Manjukun did Druny Kansa to Suri, Kansa, Druny Kansa to Suri, Mando Situ Man, Druny Mad Suris, and Teji Jenny, shagi amarba jitebani. Jit hakugi amarba. Jitembani pigi miris, lapsun miris, jabad. Tagarang nijijani mi imbi chanditi chigaraba. Mis yenti kandere jitaju chimarba. Yenti yenti kandere sigdos jene. Pataju jene. Jumarba. Odi tengibe lugi. 그래서 이 조주디 지denbe tangi도 tumbaju가 지den게 tangi게 다제지야 하고 말봐 가사기 뜻이 신에 하고야 도지기 도바에서 하고야 신이 말봐 도지기 도바 가사기 뜻이 뒤도 가사 스탁스야기 tangi도 지금 말봐 지den 랑가와 랑주 지대 두달 마슈가 두수비 두달 쉬면 두스 가사기 뜻이 신에 지지 되는 도지기 도바스게 지지 되는 도바디 뜻이들 가사 스타브레스지 몽부치시에그라 지den바게 수수기고 두수비 가사 세드데 따라 가사시베 민 따라는 때니 침니 그 가사 민지 지기야 대주 지기야 말봐 어디 제산 tengyube 이 천음 주스티 지denbe tanye도 tumba 주스티
So then one difference between these two schools is that how they establish the existence of the phenomena or the mode of the existence of the phenomena. Yeah. So in this tradition, the Prasangika Madhyamika, so they did not destroy the conventional way of thinking. So like they kept that. So that means so that way the mode of existence is just merely label or merely thing. So that is true, but as ordinary being, they just kept how ordinary people operate, how ordinary people thinks, existence, think the way mode of existence. So here, for instance, as ordinary being, so when you say I'm going to somewhere, so then you don't have any second thoughts or anything. You just walk and go and get there. Everything functions very well, right? Because this is conventional how we operate things. This is so that's why there's nothing can actually, everything can actually work and function in that way. So then for instance I can function everything just believe about it, believe not believe, I'm like just when you say like this is I, this is you person, so then it start functioning everything. So but in the Saprantika Madhyamika, so they have a different thing. This is actually sort of like I'm saying sort of like it's going off how normal people think, sort of like they actually identify a person something that normally we don't understand, right? So then if someone never had and exposed to any tenet or any view, so then when we talk with them and conventionally everything will be everything will be going to place very nicely. So then let's say if someone enter into a view or tenet or something like that, so then they begin to investigate, find. Then when they begin to investigate, so then they will lose everything. So let's say like I'm walking, and who's walking? Where we getting, and how we walking. So if you analyze them, you cannot find what is actually who is doing this, what is we doing this. So that's why in this tradition we didn't this school the Prasangika Madhyamika school didn't destroy or touch or did anything how conventionally operates things. So we kept that, and based on that, so then they go through like all the other stuff.
Daddy, that thing you will to be tatan petty, tata dream, but there is thada doing but to be thousand. Lo Koran Jin Zambreba. Lo letting the Chinawari, Tabat to Nawaraba. Tabat to Naw Zambreba. Did Tada Jun to say Jayamaraba. Or did Shutamje Dobe thousand you do need to say Jamaica Bechaber.
So then here we use example of a coiled snake. So then the coiled snake, the snake is not, any snakes not exist from the objective side at all. This is just merely imputation, just merely label.
That is that thing you will you minute to put on mess or you may have a touch it. I may have a touch in a pinch Nangtuga. Nalaya Chiran to pinch Nangi, you which is Nangiari. You are going to Banari. Pinch to which now already pinch picking minute to which number is the picking minute to shove a jan maybe. Or the Tiku Manandu, the Indigo Nanju Titiri. You picking money to you, but Nagiari. That part of you picking money to be, you know, covered Jagaching, Jagaching being picking money to be, you know, part of you, Jenna. Need you, which the Yamari. And don't know into Pinatu, which in India.
So then how come I can see you and you can see me, and there's something out there you project, you're looking at that object, right? So then these are because of our denzin. Denzin means self-grasping. So because of our force of our self-grasping, then we think something is from objective side, from appearing to us, from the others, externally, and then we believe in that this is actually out there, and then because all of this, because of the self-grasping, denzin, self-grasping, self-grasping, right? Denzin. How that within a den.
Daxing is so
Yeah, sometimes daxing and denzin. Yes. What is denzin then?
grasping at the truth.
Grabbing at the truth.
Then
Grasping on in the truth. Yes.
True
Denzin.
existing.
Truth existing.
That's
True existing. Okay.
That is. Chausola Sobanum, Tabala, Little Tabatara Sumba, Sumba Samti. Chausola Sobatusu, Tabala, Little Tabatara Sumba is Chip. There is Tandati. Chauso Nam, Tabala, Little Tabatara Sumba, Sumba Samti. Chutamje Jam, Tabala, Little Tabana Shiris. Tabala do the Jabba Namsini, Tabe, Taudet into Nangiarity, Taudet into Jude Jagachin, Zaningia, Dinashi, Chutam Jajan, Dobe Patatam Temishuti. You many Zejunia, Zania Marichel, Chutam Jajang. Tabala do the Tabata, Tobe Shaba Cheba, Della, True Tayu Kado Sedi, Denji Tabadi, Tayu Kado Toji, Chilu Juda Dashi, Ko Tabadi Shadandi, Jodandi, Juichili, Juineje did them but Chilu Juda. Lavaje. 주의다다시 이 미세와 나와나스 다디 나무 타바다 주 이와 치마 두베 내가 그렇지 구비야리 멤버 주세 버티지 니코 주비야라 다 타바를 주두야 그 타바 임바 세브하고 마구니지 디데기 내가 지라세요 이 미세와 나와나 타발라 줄로 냠바 중스 디체 타발라 타베 초바당 디체는 타바디 초바당 타바디 차시 차시 주기 진실 중세장야 말이스 그 타다디 땡도 주디 셴바리 주디 진바리 디디는 진바나시 주디 땡 타바디 땡도 주디 중세장야 말 제산 타다 준지가 로디기 타바라 주디 또베 타바상데 레디 타베도 중세장야 말이스 중세장매베 디니 주 디드니 타게팅이 주디니 또베 타바상모스 대신도 풍부를 때는 아우 냠바나 스타디 베디 디샤네 풍부를 때는 다 수술 나아서야지 기기를 봐 나아서야지 기버디 풍부팅 풍부를 때는 아우 냠베 로제버디 있으면 나디 또베 파다 잠제 아디 풍부 땡네 풍부 때는 나지 인제 초바다 다들 풍부 때문에 풍부 때다 그 풍부 때도 나오냐 별로 뒤져버려 풍부 나인데 나오냐 별로 뒤져버려 뒤에도 풍부 나지 경기 초바다 뒤집에 초바다 아니 나지 초바다 세네 계지 남아다 계지 치마다 초바 계지 남아다 치마다 뒤집에 초바다 아니 초바다 뒤 차시 생시를 중세장 내디 예벌 어두 채도 뒤 칠다 풍부 차시다 차진데 못하더니 실 진교 양 중세 매배 나디니 또베 풍부라 때니 샤바짬 인기 랑그 물주가 내도 스타디
Okay, now back to the page number 98. 1, 2, maybe I'll say 3, third paragraph. The statement in the commentary, the desire, desire and so forth, are imputed like imputation of a snake to a rope. It's just like an illustration, right? Illustration. So it's similar like that. So desire and so forth, everything, every phenomena, including every phenomena that appears to us like that imputed snake. Okay. Other phenomena are just explained to be posited by conceptually like an imputation of the snake to the rope. Here, right? The rope, speckled color, right? Speckle color and mood of calling are similar to those of the snake. Yes, the same. This is straightforward. And when the rope is perceived in a dim area, the thought arises, right? Because of all these factors, the thought arises. This is a snake. Okay. As for the rope, at that time when it is imputed by be a snake, the collection. Okay, now we try to find out where is that snake is actually resided. So then the snake is not collection of the rope or the parts of this rope. There's none of this, and not even in the slightest way possible is the illustration of the snake. That is a snake, right? So there's nothing you can find it on that in the parts wherever you look at it, you can find it. Therefore, the snakes is merely imputed by the conceptuality. So it's just our mind, perception, mental project on merely mental project. And that is the whole, this thing is the example, illustration or example. So now the actual thing, in the same way, when the thought I arises, it depends upon the mental and physical aggregates. Nothing in terms of the aggregates, neither the collection, which is the continuum of the earlier, the later. That means like the mass, talking about the whole thing, all these aggregates. So there's a continuation of the aggregates. So this, you are not the first, the continuation of the, you are not the first, you are not the last, you are not the middle. None of this is the I. Nor the collection of the parts. Like if you break it down pieces, so you are not each of any one of them, right? At one. Not the parts of those mental and physical. Okay. It's even it's like with possible in the illustration of that is as I, that will be okay. Now it says, so this is the kind of like a summary, or the just summary what we're going to talk about. Right? This will be explained in the length below. Geber sheets.
Yeah.
Some the Geber sheets.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that is good.
Okay, now questions. If you have any questions. Yes.
So when Rinpoche mentioned that the hell realms, created by our conception, so so do they actually exist somewhere? I mean, I suppose as much as this reality is created by our conception. And so is there actually a place where these hell realms are?
Yes. And as I said, the nyawa di, ani tobe phata session jures, larwa. Then nyawa di pena ngazu di de ngazu zamulin de tobe ta si jure uswa. The yu tang chasan si do rilung da yu de rilung da chu chasan si yorwa. Din nang shi ga nyawa di den de si yorwe si.
Yeah.
사자 다우시로 통화 된다 오시 여러 배시.
네, 사제야리 그 장식이 장세세지 세시. 야리 디야리.
Yes, there's this, the hell realms exist, and actually all the grounds like fire.
이거는 그 예고원 그 주샤베 디지 여러봐. 이 사이도 수리 ले 상도 우리 주시에다 시행하는 소리. 뭐 비야르바 디디나시 지아리는 좀 나시인지.
Yes, it will be very similar to this what we what we are in this world. It's very similar. It will be very similar to like this, because the hell and the God realm, the divine realm is very similar like this. They have the better than us, and then the hell realm has they have like similar like what we have here.
Does it have an actual place though? Like, meaning, one time I was in a mental institution visiting someone, so a man on the edge of the bed was like freezing to death, but looking human and in my human realm, but having a very different experience because of his mind. So is his reality, like, is he in like an altered reality there, are there parallel universes in a sense? Like,
근데 이제 코로나만 맹가질 그러니까 맹가질 돈에 다 미치도서 미 장을 그 차시 쉬우시 태도와 참 답변에 딱 뭐랑 있어야 되는 변화 세션나 할로 차 가서디 요 냐와 어디서라 집에서라 차와를 시도 딱 코로나에 단다 운내기 가지고 되는 시 사자 현다지래야 차와 차랑 가서디 차와냐다 자냐디 사자들이 요를 위해서 계속 해서 간지 꼭 따도 좀 말이야. 그런 받다도서 미들 받다도서 말이야. 가로 사회 가서 자냐나 양들에서 통과. 다양 그런 등로 사자들 집에 그런 게 나와야 돼. 자냐기 나한테 아주 돼서 아주 다 대대요 같이. 자냐기 아니 그냥은 레드릭 소화도 시키 안 자냐 가서 자냐라고 자냐기 또 얘들 양대이나 간대이나 쓰고. 사직스도 본수스는 저 델 잠불지 델 잠불지 델 잠불지 예배서라시다. 잠불이 땡지가 예배서라시. 어디들이 지인하서.
아, 지단 잠불이 장내 버렸다. 난가를 타야 말이지. 스미링디 타야 말이. 심지어를 타야 말이. 심지어 내를 타야 타내 버리. 아니 말한 적이 나랑도 굉장히 이 맞춤배 그때 네 심지에 빠두네 봐야 이 유산에 다 자냐 야리 디나시 근데 자냐도 근데 가리 차그럼도수 차그럼 이었어 자냐스니디 차그럼 근데 차그럼 나를 대니기 이제 야르바 야리 심제들이 야르바 이게 두수그 소리지 자냐디 서시 담제도 이 근데 차그럼 잡지지 어딘데 지지 디나다 아니지 기대니 심제로지 디네 소리지 냐와스 자냐스네 다티 유시기를 봐
So yes, Mr. It is very possible that there's a different world for hell realms, because the world is limitless, the numberless, and space is like a numberless. I mean, like space is like a limitless. So that means like their world system is limitless. Yeah. So they is sure that there are different area for hell realms. For instance, here we can see some places is all like get like what's it, ice all around the year. So then we could have a world that is actually only made out of like a snow, ice, right? And there must have some beings. So they is still life in that area. And they can actually, into their life, they experience like the whole intensity of this cold of this whole system of the world. So then, yes, this is very possible that there are separate area for hell realms.
어디 점이 되래 이 자냐야리 점이 다 신달에 디나신 내 두자들이 연구야로
And in this world, in it itself, we can pretty much say there is hell realm somewhere, because there's the fire, somewhere, and there's always cold somewhere. So then, and sentient beings live in there. So then that we can consider as hell realm as well.
So, going back to the Buddha sees a flower that we offer as ugly. Because the Buddha sees it. And also the Buddha sees it as experiences, I don't know what the right word is here, as completely pure. So, in reference to how the Buddha would see the hell realms, see it as suffering and terrible and ugly because of our self-grasping eye, and also experience it as pure. I mean, would the same thing apply there? Is that make sense of the question?
Yes.
Sorry.
답변은 됐어. 답변다. 가슴이 상계라야 만족이 제부터는 또 뭐라게 시에단데 만다시 변해서 상계라야 이 메도 완전 메도디 제부르지 통하는 상계의 메도디 제부 통고 말해서 나서 되게 시시한 지었던 게 있어. 배는 냐와요. 냐와디 동해기 지금 유조 동해에 비해서 사주셔서 저러시와 아니 배 돈이 뭐 야고 메도 비시고요. 밀레가 시우지요. 이 상계기 시기를 시 말해서 근데 밀레가 나오시냐 메나네 이 파칼라오르 배 가서디 칼라오르 배 다배 나와르지 샤그레스
산제를 냐에 두네만 하지 산제를 그래서 산제를 셴을 냐버도 술을 쓰고 두네 나와디 냐버도 술을 두네 나와디 산제 친구를 봐 냐버도 술을 두네 시고 여버디 산제 친구 Okay.
So this, I don't know how it goes in English. Nang means they translate as appearance, right? Appearance. Okay, I'll just use the appearance. Nang means. Okay, so the Buddha, maybe like Nang means perceive. I think they perceive. Okay, so let's go backwards. The hell realm. Okay, Buddha doesn't appear. I don't know. Hell realm doesn't appear to Buddha, something like that. Or that means another word. That means like Buddha doesn't experience hell realm. Or another way you can say like Buddha doesn't perceive hell realm, something like that. Okay, but I know if you say that, if Buddha perceives, in Tibetan it says if Buddha perceives hell realm, that means like a Buddha needs to experience hell realm. Okay, so that's why you say Buddha doesn't perceive hell realm or doesn't appear hell realm, something like that. Okay, so but the sentient beings being suffered by hell realm can be seen by Buddha. Yeah, can yes. But can be seen by Buddha. Buddha can see. It means like Buddha can see sentient beings being suffer from the hell realm.
Nyawa palata nyawa tungi nangirwa. Untula nyawa tungi nangi mari. Tungeti nyawa tungi nasunsa nyawa tungeti yongu.
So that means like right now we can say we don't perceive hell realm and we don't appears. I don't know. Hell realm doesn't appear to us this moment. If you say hell realm, I perceive hell realm or hell realm appears to me, then means we are experiencing hell realm.
Question. So how about for a bodhisattva? Is that the same? Like, what's the experience of a bodhisattva?
Seeing hell realm?
Is
아니,
it the same as Buddha?
전주 선박이 냐와 통화 있나? 냐와 통수도 지체 지어디 상계다 지거래 했어요.
지금 말이.
No, it's different. It's different.
What is it?
안 가르랬어. 가르랬어.
디에리 가르스베. 레지 넘버 멤버 상이켜. 제 당이 지야 돈을 계세지. 지단 돈을 깨와 yarba. 전주 선발라 돈을 깨와 야리. 드니야 그니사
근데 상계기 냐와 식수 되게 대시 잡아. 근데 냐와 가서 냐와 만랑 ini semjebi 냐와 나 가서 sem 동에기 나와는 나 근데 six era 냐와 그 동에 냐와 six
냐와 디
six laro it does this 진주 셈발에 다 하나 찍고 지내는데 yes it can be same yes. And we just said, for instance, I asked him like specifically, initially he thought like he's talking about like they have like same kind of mental power or something like that. Then I told him the way which Buddha sees the hell realm and the sentient beings being suffer from the hell realm, that will be the same to Bodhisattva. Okay.
So, and one time I was at a teaching with His Holiness, and I thought I understood, I may have misunderstood, but that from the side of the other, that there is something there, even according to Prasangika Madhyamaka. So, but according to that school, normally it's a mere designation. So if somebody's attacking you in everyday life, how do you can think about emptiness, but then how do you actually, is there no energy there from the other side? And I thought His Holiness said, there is something, but what is it then? What's out there? How best to deal with it? Yeah.
Tashi, could you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, so
I
I was saying that I thought I was in a teaching with His Holiness once. I may have misunderstood, but I understood His Holiness was saying, according to Prasangika Madhyamaka, there is something out there. There's still some energy, okay? But we might say, according to that school, it's a mere designation. Okay, but let's say you're being attacked, or you're extremely attached to something, you know. So is there nothing out there, or what is out there? And then in everyday life, what's the best way to deal with it?
This or the Panama from Yaram Chisunjus to Zambalaya, the data which was no initiation nor injuries. The tangible Lulaya and the Pani Union one is yours, that which soon Funsa, that did Chera to the teach. And you did it. And I said, Tananga there's some low Pashavare, time many tabares, you want to do a Yomares, Shedera. But the day in Baina, and I meet you Susula, never chill Zamalia. And never chinging it, kind of Susu Palo, and it's chicky. How to help me, which soon never to let the other way, and Migim soon never to see.
Yari, Chidan never singing Yari. Never singing the lawyer, not some Yari Mishuchi. You get any Yamas, never singing Yari, Sai Kala Yari, Kariari. Never singing Yari, you learn out some Chile Mishuchi. You may shaggy Yamaris.
So yes, there is hammer, and there is food we can eat, and there is water we can drink, but they are not truly exist from the side of their object, just merely imputed.
That Jangarim Chitisum, Pumbu Tendu Kansa Yusik, Pumbu Mene Kansa, Pumbu de Kansa de Yusiti, the Pumbu Tendu Shout. Now, the Pumbu Mene Yarvesena, Yamari.
Maybe His Holiness the Dalai Lama meant your first statement. His Holiness the Dalai Lama meant that there is a person on 5 aggregates. Okay, the person is not from the side of the 5 aggregates.
Pumbu Tendu Kansa Yus, Pumbu Tene Yamari. Kansa Yusiti, Pumbu Tendu Shout, the Pumbu Tendu Kansa di Shariarba. Yari de Pumbu Mene to the vicinity Marva. You
So-
can Mene to the Maris.
So we need to say a person is on the 5 aggregates. That means like we impute or we designate person on based on 5 aggregates, but they are not, inherent with 5 aggregates. So inherent exists from this its own side. Okay.
So the Chandrakirti school, so does the self-grasping and the mental fiction appear at the same time?
So grasping and mental affliction
Yes,
appears
they
at
appear- Same
same.
same time and
Same time.
once we self-grasping arises, do like attachment, they appear at the same time.
What?
Do they appear at the same time?
Okay. Self-grasping, that the rank, also the Niemong, Niemong da, self-grasping, Ranshi Tuba, Ranshi Zimbachi, Ranshi Zimbas,
Dingy.
Enzi Sata, Enzi Solashe, Enzi di, Ani Nyam do you go the best? Nyam to Rebe, Nyam do you go the best?
Muda.
Niemong the Dinzi, Nyam do you go the best?
Dingy Kuran Yumori, Sida. The Dingy da Chatan to swing Yam to Yari.
Self-grasping.
Tatanda di Chatan is Japan. Chita Dingy Kuran Yumori, Ni Chapata, Tawata, Kondo, and Najeta, Mariba Kanga Yari, Mariba Kuran Yumori. Did that Dingy di Chatan the Yumbo Yunguri.
So let's put this out like this. The self-grasping is mental affliction. Okay. So then the mental affliction can be many things. Like it could be attachment, it could be aversion, it could be ignorance. Okay. But the self-grasping and attachment can go together. Okay.
Yeah, but in the Yamaka school, they say like first if you project and then mental affliction arises afterwards, after you're projected, right? So it comes after. It seems that it comes together.
after?
Yeah, after you
Let's
project.
say,
You say I see a vase, right? Then I project a vase.
according to Madhyamika?
Yeah.
I mean like
Prasangika.
Prasangika?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I see a vase and then I project it as a vase, right?
I see.
Then it appears to me, then I develop a type, and then I exaggerate it. It's beautiful, it's ugly. But first but it seems that self-grasping comes first, then the mental affliction like attachment comes afterwards.
그런 게 배우지는 가르쳐서 penetration 랑싱이 두바 짐바지요라 띵니야래 안 데시기 아니 대자단데 당이 되어서 근데 그 여러 tempa 여러 진 안데 거기 아니 단 아주 대자다 시간도 대응 되어서 두시고
디디 대자다 시간도 말이 배 ongi chungara ba and ja jain chatu tamba mari bet never cheg mari tigir ba timbo yonsi.
So yes, all these mental afflictions like attachment and aversions are actually due to our self-grasping thoughts. But when we develop attachment, it is actually forced by self-grasping thoughts. But we can ease or like we can get free from our attachment. But the ignorant, like self-grasping thought will be continue with us.
So that means that if you get rid of this attachment, then you become anaharas, right? So then you still have the self-grasping thoughts. So that means you're anahara to a certain level, but then you're still like liberated, right?
Can you say that again?
They say liberation, right?
What?
They say when you overcome like affliction, like attachment, hatred, you achieve liberation, right?
Okay, liberation. Okay.
Yeah, but the liberation you achieve, since you still have self-grasping, is not complete, right?
When you
So
achieve
if you-
liberation, so then you are saying that still you have self-grasping.
Self-grasping, but it's not full liberation, right?
Okay, it's not liberation. I don't know. Korantang Korani is this. The pena hasa the pena tarba tugurwa. Tarba tugur zambala ani tarba tugur nani thandeo koran la ya dancing yorwa si.
Tarba tugsune dinji han mari. Tarba tugle dinji pangure. Sabin che pangure.
So before you get liberations, you need to abandon the self-grasping and the seat of the self-grasping.
So then what do
You
you
need to
achieve?
eliminate that.
So then what do you achieve if you overcome attachment and hatred? And then you still have self-grasping, then what do you achieve?
If you don't have
No,
self-grasping,
you
then
have
what you
self-grasping,
achieve?
you have self-grasping, but you don't have attachment and hatred.
Okay.
So what kind of realization do you achieve?
What realization do you achieve when you become when you reach enlightenment?
No, you have you overcome attachment, hatred, and pride, all those more like mental afflictions, but you still have self-grasping. So does that mean?
Don't start off
I mean, you can. Zero. I mean, if you have self-grasping, right? You have self-grasping, right?
Yes, self-grasping.
And then other self-grasping, then you don't have attachment and hatred.
Yes, okay.
So if you still have self-grasping, and then you have a complete like seized the attachment and hatred, but you still have self-grasping, like so.
Complete. You said complete.
I mean, like only gross level, like the gross level.
Tapan this is the because of the penetration layer. Tempas in the tension the palm by ina, tempas in the tension the palms here, any chadang Yamon is what under Yoroa, Yosirua, Yoroa,
Yamari. Chatan dinji pan chasun yamu kangas.
No, if you able to abandon self-grasping, there's no attachment, no aversion, anything, no mental affliction.
What about the seed?
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 Seed of what? Mental.
Oh, the seed of self-grasping.
Okay. What about seed of self-grasping?
How do you get rid of that?
I'll get rid of it.
Direct perception of higher boonies.
이모 사ben이 간대장 모르겠어. 이모 사ben이 간대장 모르겠어.
You sabide. You sabide. Tiri. Tarita jukeri.
Maybe you need a big axe. So it's destroyed by the Dhametobe Sharam, the wisdom that sees the lack of intrinsic existence.
Sabinti Dinji Shuri Kiki Mebit so Shabadiri. Kiki Mebit Sabinti 사변도 유닛 인지 치마찌게 알바. 아니 그 담에도 싫어기 인지 인지 치마찌게 맵스 받다가 사변 받았어. 기기 맵스 샵기.
So they destroy seed of self-grasping means like self-grasping actually act as a causes of our mental afflictions, right? So seed destroy seed means like after that, after when you destroy that, there's no any causes or conditions. You eliminate it. There's no causes and conditions that actually force you to develop any form of mental attachment and aversion.
So, but first Bhumi Brisava, Bhumi Brisavas, first Bhumi Brisavas still have affliction, right?
Affliction?
Yeah, mental
Okay.
affliction.
Okay, mental affliction. Okay.
And then once you become a Bhumi Brisavas, you overcome all the affliction, right?
Okay.
So that means you still have self-grasping, right? First Bhumi Brisava.
特别是陈居生被萨堂不脱，陈居生没有了，你们有了哇塞
예, 예.
？Yes, they have mental affliction.
Yeah.
First woman, yes.
자, 담불은 사 담불 서울에 사 담불 거수 사 담불 거수 니무 야리
Yeah, first Bhumi Bodhisattva can have mental affliction.
야, 다
Okay, let's have a break. Let me just take a break.